So today we're driving the all-new Mazda BT-50, and unless you've been living under a rock, you will of course know that it is an all-new vehicle. It's based on the Isuzu D-Max. For the last 2 generations it's been a Ford Ranger based vehicle, and there's big news in that switch to the D-Max because the BT-50 is now a thoroughly modern vehicle. I think it's fair to say the old one was starting to feel a little tired. It hadn't kept pace with the updates to the Ranger, and so it just was starting to feel old and sort of too old school, I guess. It is now a thoroughly modern vehicle with all of the creature comforts you expect and all of the active safety you expect from a modern car. So let's just talk a little bit about the interior. I think it's worth mentioning, I mean, it is exactly the same as the interior of the D-Max. The buttons are the same, the fonts are the same, everything's the same, except obviously you're looking at a Mazda badge on the steering wheel. And Mazda has made a few tweaks. The interior of this GT model that we're driving has this sort of chocolate brown leather and accents across the dash and the door cards and all that sort of stuff. And it gives this real Mazda passenger car feel, which I think is quite nice, especially on a vehicle costing about 60 grand. It just sort of elevates the interior and makes it feel a little bit more premium SUV and less sort of truck, for want of a better description. So new platform means new engine. It's of course running the same engine as the D-Max, the 3-litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder. It's not quite as grunty as the old 5-cylinder turbo diesel. This thing keeps up with traffic really well, overtakes really well, hills don't bother it whether you've got a load in the tray or the whole family on board. And there are other benefits to the new platform, and that is the unladen ride and handling. I think, you know, the old BT-50 where it used to buck and bounce off lumps and bumps, this new one is a whole lot smoother, much smoother. In fact, I think the unladen ride is probably one of its key attributes. Now, looks are always in the eye of the beholder, but it is worth talking about the way this thing looks. I mean, the BT-50 has always been attacked, I guess, because of the way it looks. It's never, well, the critics will tell you that it's never looked tough enough. And I think that's probably going to be the same argument leveled at this one as well. It doesn't look aggressive or overly macho like the rest of the dual cabs you'd be cross-shopping this thing with. If you are worried about the looks and you absolutely want everything else that goes with this BT-50, well, you can always throw on a set of driving lights and a bull bar. You'll never see the front end. All right, what's this new BT-50 like off-road? I mean, that is what everyone wants to know, I guess. So, well, we're off-road checking it out. I would like to apologise straight up though. The exterior footage you're seeing of this vehicle has been supplied by Mazda. I do apologise. We do try wherever possible to shoot our own exterior driving footage to give you an idea of where we test the vehicles and how we test them, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, time has been against me this week. We just haven't had a chance to do it. So we've had to rely on their video. And the off-roading stuff is, well, to be fair, pretty darn tame. I mean, it's not even off-road driving. But anyway, I'm going to use it as illustrative footage regardless because I've got nothing else. And you can only stare at my bearded face for so long, right? So what's this thing like off-road? Well, of course, you've got high and low range, a locking rear diff. It's pretty standard fare. The thing that holds this car back, I mean, if you drive it straight off the showroom floor, is the other tyres. You see, they are 90% oriented towards bitumen. Yeah, they're a tough tyre. They're a Bridgestone Dueler. It's a good tyre. But for off-road work, the tread pattern is just it's too slick, it's too road oriented, designed for shedding water, not gripping mud and rock and dirt. So if you are planning on driving off-road, touring, that sort of thing, change the rubber. Other than that, the platform is pretty good. You know, obviously you've got those extended height diff breathers, as I mentioned earlier, as they come standard, which is fantastic. And you've also got the preparation for the snorkel, which is great. So what do we think of this new BT-50? Well, I think if you like the way the old one drives, you're probably not going to like this new one all that much. In fact, a friend of mine has an older BT-50 and he's been in this one, and yeah, it's a little too comfortable, a little too car-like for him. He prefers the sort of truck-like rugged feel of his old BT-50. And I think there'll probably be quite a few people like that. But if you are looking for a dual cab ute that is going to be comfortable around town, just as capable as the old one off-road, and is packed with creature comforts and all of the latest technological doodads that you could possibly want on a new car, then I think this new BT-50 is worth checking out.